Hey guys, I'm going to be doing a very special video here. We're going over the top 5 T4s in the game, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, these might be the only ones that you really have to have. More importantly, when it came down to it, the top 3 were really the only ones that I think we thought were must-haves. Again, realistically, T4s help a team operate better. And in the age of ISOs, we do know that you're going to have to build up a squad, have all these resources wasted, and spend all these time and only have them surpassed in 2 months by a brand new squad, or find out that your legendary is suddenly not useful. Salty? No, I'm not. Let's go. Number 5, voted by chat here on Twitch, was the Sinister Clone. Now, the Sinister Clone, if you guys do not know, gives you the additional abilities. So it basically gives you the +1 on the abilities. It is very important because that'll actually let you scale without having to invest in additional T4s. It used to be operating a little bit differently, but now it only scales off of the clone. So basically, by putting the T4 in that, you get a fully functional with all the T4s on the operational clone. Now, I do know that Sinister has fallen off in usage quite a bit. He isn't a U7 character, but he's still valuable. He still is a DD3 character, and without Phoenix, he might be a DD4 character. It all depends on how they actually utilize this whole new trait system. Boy, there's a lot to digest today. So I think I'm confident enough to include that it is either near the top 5 or in the top 5. Thanks for helping me figure that out. So this one might surprise a few people on how far down the list it is, but the Black Bolt passive still has a ton of value. It does wrap up a ton of health, a ton of damage, and more importantly, it is, especially, like I said, in the age of ISOs, that extra damage chain that you get from the tag as him having a striker is devastating. Now, again, these are legendary characters. I think you're going to be surprised by the other 3. And they are actually probably in order when it comes down to it, because like I said, I know I'm using Black Bolt still on occasion in raids for specific nodes, and I do think Black Bolt is an enduring character for the investment. Still top damage in the blaster category. So next, okay, so this one shouldn't surprise you. Now, Ultron is probably getting a little bit of a new life from ISOs and might be getting a new lift from Yellow Jacket. That kit seemed to hint that Villain Tech was getting some type of synergy, and it was really interesting to see in our minds, everybody kind of went there right away, is, wow, is Villain Tech going to work with the PIM team? And so the answer is, well, it looks like it. So they probably have a 5-man squad coming out, and will probably be enhancing some already existing characters. But in the meantime, it looks like a stand-in 5th will be Ultron. So the big difference with this is you either get the 2 or 3 guaranteed. If you did not do this T4, the team functions so much better without it, because if you only summon 2 bots on the first summon, they don't ramp up, they don't give you that extra speed, you're not clearing debuffs, and they can fall behind, and it's just not as valuable. So this, again, because we are using this list as absolutely either character or build defining for a team, that's the big difference. So this one, and I got a little bit of backlash from chat because they said it's a Kraken tier, and to a certain extent, we did have an event where he was available. I'm going to tell you something. Zemo, right now, for a lot of people, is a plug-and-play character. I saw him on Marauder defense that almost smoked my X-Force. I went in there expecting a very easy fight, but when I blinked, offense down was gone, the rest of my team was gone, and X-23 with a brand new set of level 4 ISOs barely pulled out the win. So, something to talk about. The really value in this, and this is going to be kind of, a lot of the ones that we considered in the top 10 were ones that evaluated speed, and we've seen speed have an indirect correlation to a lot of the power creep in this game. A lot of what we've seen building up towards the top tier characters are characters that are increasing speed. So if you guys look down here, it is there, and again, these multi lines of text are usually there, but the extra damage, the clear 3 positive effects, and then that 20% speed. All right. So obviously he's built for war offense. Seeing him on war defense, it's interesting if they don't have another, if you can't justify building up the Hydra 2.0 team, the H2O team, because you're afraid they're going to hold water. I know, bad pun. I'm sorry. This is the reason why this character, like I said, it's just if you have him, build him up, you'll be surprised. He does scale really, really well with red stars and gear, something to take into consideration. However, he is so fast that he just acts before almost everybody in most scenarios. So something to take in consideration. All right, next, and on the hit parade. And this one, I think, shouldn't surprise people at number 1. Even before the full symbiote squad was out there, Carnage's passive was probably the top T4 in the game. And the reason being is that extra speed you get, all right, that extra 10% speed means you are countering any benefit that Greg could be getting with the speed fill. You're getting a lot of extra turns. And so as we now have a full symbiote squad, it is the reigning champion of T4s. And there was actually some concern that they might go in and nerf Carnage's passive. That's the big difference. If it was something that we were so concerned about, because we've actually seen them. If you guys don't know, I have videos up about autoing on U7.5. It is because of this passive largely. If Carnage dies, this doesn't trigger anymore, and you will definitely feel it as you start to get far behind the enemy team. So what about all these other T4s, you ask, Reman? And the thing about it is, it's relatively simple. T4s should only be utilized to make a team do something you need it to, because the team that you're using isn't doing what you need it to do at that time. The reason being is there are a lot of luxury T4s and T4s that help you win more, maybe punch up more consistently, and those are all well and good. But if a team is already functioning for you without T4s, which is take them for a spin in Blitz, take them for a test drive in War, watch your friends, watch my stream, because the problem you're going to have is T4s still remain one of the biggest bottlenecks in the game. And with a 3 release to 4 release cycle every patch, and more importantly, when characters are getting reworked, revamped, and brought up from the bottom of our rosters, without those T4s, I am telling you right now, if there are power creep characters like Zemo was, you will definitely feel it. The rework on Carnage made it such a vital, because before that, there was very little that you would touch on Carnage. Now that the rework happened when Symbiote Spider-Man dropped, so character kits can change, and not always for the better. So with the fact that we now know that there is going to be something different going on with DD4, I'm going to tell you to hold on to these ISOs, make sure you're building up teams that are going to help you if that's something you guys want to progress towards. In the meantime, DD4 is to help you get through U7s and push them. I think ISOs and level 80 on the horizon will help you do that. So, like I said, we'll give you that team, the Black Order versus Black Order, for an example. Putting T4s on that team will help you beat them, but you should always measure the opponent you're trying to beat and determine what T4s they have and what T4s you need to win. Because you'll have a couple of days to get through them and figure that out as they make investment level. I know that I probably have close to 1,200 T4s in Hydra for testing purposes. I know, Mad Dad Berturi here. I've got close to 1,400 in the Black Order, and I by no means have them at 7-star and higher than, I think they're mostly 5 red star, with the exception of Thanos, who I actually physically upgraded. That's the key element of that, is basically there are, you need them to win in a certain scenario. T4s will help you. But I didn't click on any T4s until I lost an arena battle or two, because I just didn't want to be far behind the curve if a power crept character was released. So remember, I do tend to hoard resources. I'll be hoarding a whole bunch for this new Pim Particle squad that is showing up soon, the Quantum team that is apparently has a brand new name. So you guys will be able to catch it here. Remember, I do it so you guys don't have to. Try to hold on to your T4s. Remember, we do a T4 review here on Twitch every Sunday, and I'll catch you guys later. Thanks again for your time.